And Bethenny to me is like that. It's like, just give in. You know what I'm saying? You are a housewife. You're synonymous with this franchise. It's made you a millionaire 18 times over. And it's just where people want to see you. And I think she should just give in and do it and be herself. And that's what I'm saying is like lots of times people fight. It's kind of like you and me too. Like I never would have done a Bravo recap show. I really, in a lot of ways, I don't give a shit about a lot of these shows. But now I get more messages about our chemistry and friendship. And I'm like, Sarah, what I have learned from the fabulous Miss Summers, may she rest in peace, is sometimes you have the things you least suspect are going to be a hit become your biggest hit. And you almost got to go with it. You've just got to go with it.
I didn't expect that you were going to be a regular 2-day-a-week thing. Trust me, this is not, guys, when I air my chats with these Hollywood icons 3 years after they're recorded, this is why. Because we have 2 days a week with Sarah. We have Monday, which is always Bravo. It only leaves 2 pieces of real estate. So trust me, it was like the world is telling you, this is where the ratings are, David. Listen to the numbers. So I agree with you. At one point, Sarah Fraser was going to quit us. She was on to bigger and better things. I had to talk her off the ledge. Remember, you were having a breakdown at one point? She goes through.
Well, I watched the summer stock and I thought, lean in, sweetie, to what the audience wants. Because, and they talk about the documentary. It's so good if you need a break. They talk about, towards the end of her life, she would do these shows and she became very religious. So she would try to preach about Christianity and sing God songs. And like the audience was like, fuck off, give us Last Dance. It's like, but you see that with stars. I've been to a Stevie Nicks show. And at the start of the Stevie Nicks show a couple years ago, she said, I'm not singing any of my classics. I stayed for 30 minutes and I walked out. I don't give a shit. I know you get tired of playing the hits, but that's what I want. That's why I paid $300 to see you, and
every music guest I've ever had on this show, I asked that because then I usually use Madonna as an example. Madonna's leaning in now with her 40th anniversary celebration tour, but Madonna, who I would see sing all the non-hits, I would prefer it actually, but that's just me. Madonna has notoriously throughout the years been like, fuck all of you. I will sing no hits. I will do as I please. But lots of people get upset. So I understand. By the way,
okay,
what was I going to say to you about? Oh, so I agree. Listen, it's everything the opposite of what I advised Ariana.
That's what I think about Miss Bethenny. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
No, like I like agree with you where I told Ariana to leave Vanderpump and take advantage. Look, Bethenny has tried this. She doesn't need the money. Sure. But yeah, like, I mean, here's my thing. I understand I've left and I never will speak of this. There are people like that, like where I have these celebrities from the past on and they're like, they don't want to speak about that. Well, we're going to talk about your holiday movie, but if we can't talk about 90210 and your Tory spelling, I don't really want you on the damn fucking podcast. We got to talk about 90210. Same thing. Like Bethenny's talking about Housewives a lot. So it's like, if you don't want to talk about it, and you really are going, now we're in this weird in-between stage where you might as well just go and get a fucking paycheck and steal the spotlight.
Exactly. I think she loves the spotlight. And Bethenny is a person. What I like about her is 1 minute I love her, the next minute I can't stand her. I'm always 2 seconds away from unfollowing. And I kind of enjoy that because, most people you tune in and they do the same content forever and fucking ever. And then you realize, then they do something, that they don't think anyone's watching. You find out they're an asshole. What I love about her is she wears it all, who she likes, who she hates, if she did something wrong. I mean, she does put it out there and she's meant for reality television and you've given it a go everywhere else. Come back and give people what they want.
I agree. And listen, and this is no shade to Kristen Taekman. I saw her at La Biblique last summer in the Hamptons. Love her. She was on the show. She's the process of elimination. Jill didn't take the money. Bethenny don't want to do it. Carol Raswell is not interested and she shits on the franchise. Heather Thompson would have been the one. I'm going to go on record. It would have been her. Bringing her back. I have no problem with anything she did on the TV. but she's now associated with this fateful season 13 and the racism, quote unquote, and all that. So Heather isn't really, they're not rolling out the red carpet for her, which I think is unfortunate because she's wonderful and she's not in the remotely racist, but it would have been her. You can quote me on that.
But she became,
It's just an
yeah, I got that.
unforeseen
It just, she
circumstance.
became, yeah, like it tried to be the mediator and it just, yeah, it
It's
didn't.
not going to be her. Aviva, we all thought it was going to be Aviva. I mean, people don't realize this. I interviewed Aviva. I went to her house on the Upper East Side. When people joke about this, like Aviva is, I'm not revealing anything. Aviva is agoraphobic. Now, I'm being completely serious. I'm not trying to be funny. I would never joke about something like this. If I was a young child and I had my leg, I mean, Aviva lost her leg when she was a young child because of an accident. If that was me, I would I understand how you go from that to being agoraphobic in New York City. Why you're living in New York City, girl, I don't know. Go get some mansion in Kansas and live like, her apartment's very nice. But Aviva wouldn't even come downtown or 5 blocks away when I had to go to her house. Aviva's agoraphobic and she admits it, and she will not get on a plane and fly. That was the whole problem with her when she was on the show. She did not want to go on those cast trips. Remember, she freaked out because so we can't use Aviva. Tell me who else we have. Tinsley don't want to do it. So no shade at all to Miss Taekman, but this is how we ended up with Kristen Taekman. The slot was open for Kristen, Jules Weinstein, or Cindy Barshop. So I think out of those 3 people, I mean, I would have loved to have seen Ebony, but they, associate her with this fateful season 13 too. So it's not so strange because people are like, why Kristen? I mean, really, if you want to pull up the cast list from Wiki and go down the list, there was no other choice. Literally, it was her, Jules Weinstein, or Cindy Barshop. And that is how we got to Kristen Taekman. And she's more of a presence in the history. And everyone thought Aviva, but Aviva will not fly. She does not leave her house. A true story, not revealing any gossip. That's how we got to.
Sorry, I have to go. I love you.
Now you got me riled up. I'm sorry about your losses and your break-ins. Be strong during these trying times. I'm being serious.
Look, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure people will message me this and be like, well, you're right. Absolutely. Like, as long as my son's okay, my husband is okay, my mother's okay, my, family, what do I give a shit? It's just more bothersome than someone taking it, because I would give somebody $250. What's more bothersome is the attitude here of other people is just like, you don't need it. So what? Oh, you work? Who cares?
Not
you don't
mine.
need it like other people.
That's not my attitude. I'm like telling you back.
Don't even give them the damn dime.
I would just like a review of all the state programs in every state and where the money's going, and that's what I would like. And look, sure, people that need it, but for all the people that don't need it and are taking advantage of the system because they're lazy as fuck, I got some problems. So trust me, honey, when people DM us and you think they're going to come after you, trust me, from this